I perfect? Far from it. Have I invested in projects that have done poorly? Yes. But if you look at my track record, if you look at my calls in an unbiased manner from beginning to end, the truth is you'd be up. So absolutely. You need to do the following. When you look at things on social media, one is take it with a grain of salt. Two is understand if this is on meta or on trend. If somebody shilled you, chill guy at 600 mil market cap, are they wrong? It's at 250 right now. Are they wrong? No, you're wrong because you're the one that bought it, right? So like, let's not be stupid. Let's be real. So if somebody wants to say, hey, why did I push a certain thing? Because I thought it was going to be the meta and it was going to be the trend. And if I was wrong, well, I was wrong. And if I'm in the markets, I'm okay being wrong. I'm not going to sit here and admit that I'm perfect. I'm far from it. Very far from perfect. But if you go on my Twitter, you'll be able to, and if you turn on notification, I don't tweet a whole lot. I tweet maybe once or twice a day. I'm not really on the platform. So I spend a little bit of time on here. You'll be able to see the plays that I'm really tapped into. So let's talk a little bit about these plays. So last year, I think it was 2 years ago, I said, I don't fuck with crypto. I rotated completely out of crypto. Mind you, Bitcoin and crypto is two different things.
Into what? Okay.
Crypto and Bitcoin is two different things.
Okay.
Crypto as in like a space, Bitcoin as an asset, right? Let's treat them differently. So I said, I'm out of crypto. Like this was right after FTX. I was like, this is bullshit. You know why? Because I heard, and I can't mention the funds, but the funds that were invested in FTX, and bro, I'm talking at the highest level, they knew that this motherfucker was pulling money, right? So they knew that that SBF was using company funds. They already knew this. So that's what pissed me off. And I was like, I don't fuck with crypto. So I rotated all my bags, all my money into stocks, rotated into a couple of them, made public calls. You can find them on Twitter. I rotated 10% of my net worth at the pico bottom of Meta. Remember Meta got fudded because they transferred their name to Meta and it got fudded like hardcore? Go look at the calls. Meta mentioned at about $80 to $100. Today's at about $500 to $600. We're talking Meta. We're not talking about a shit coin. We're talking Meta, Facebook. You could have entered a generational play. We talk about Robinhood at the pico bottom, $8 to $11. Today it's sitting at 36, 300% gain just in the stock market. What are our bets on these plays? Our bets are very simple. The bet on Meta was, this was Q4. In Q1, they're going to announce their earnings from the ads that they generate from all the fuckers on Shopify that are out here blasting ads. So their revenue is going to be super profitable. So that's why we bought accurate. Robinhood thesis was, hey, last bull run, the thesis for Robinhood is they were a really big user for mobile. My thesis for this bull run is they're going to be more lenient and incorporate more things. Here we see Robinhood launching meme coins, went from $11 to 36. MicroStrategy, obvious one. Microsoft, the only bid from Microsoft was the only investment into OpenAI was through Microsoft because Microsoft did a $10 billion investment. So as a proxy, the only way to invest into ChatGPT and OpenAI was through Microsoft. So we talked to Microsoft. Walmart, we talked about Walmart. Walmart is your hedge against inflation. It's your hedge against any sort of turmoil or war. People always buy in Walmart. PayPal, we've been talking about PayPal. That's a big one. Started talking about it $60, $70. It's a little bit up. And then obviously I bit all the Bitcoin ETF stuff. Crypto, Solana, Jupiter, Avalanche. Those are I think the three kind of heavy hitters. I don't talk a lot about Avalanche. I talk really heavy about Jupiter and really heavy about Solana. They're the best. I love working and operating with these people. Injective, I think, has a really strong kind of narrative, but I'll be frank, the reason I'm really buying in is because of Wizard. Crypto Wizard is out here shilling INJ every single day. I got a bag, bro. Core, number one, I think they have the highest TVL on Bitcoin. Then we have Wolf. This was the one that I fucked up on. I called Wolf. Remember when we talked about that was the whole Matt Fury narrative?
Okay.
That was like all the coins. So I called Brett, right? We called Brett, we called Pepe, but I thought that Wolf was going to be on Solana, and I thought that, what was the other one? Andy was going to be on Binance, on Binance, but they all ended up being on the same chain. So if you actually see all the top ones, I think they end up with, if I'm shilling it, sorry guys, OX67. I think they all finished with those like, contract address, but they all ended up winning on the same chain. So I fucked up on that one, wrong chain with the token. BitTensor, obviously, Fetch AI, pretty good. GPU, low on revenue when it comes to their GPUs, still getting pushed by some of the biggest people in all of Twitter. So my marketing is on them. We had one that ended up being a rug, and I made no money on it. One called OPSEC. Do you remember OPSEC? That was one that
maybe.
There was one that, it was a rug. That went to zero. Fucked me. I think I lost 80 grand on that. Then we have Ethereum. Ethereum's a piece of shit. We have the Graph. That's a one from last bull run. We have TON. I've been super bullish on TON. I've been talking about TON since last
You've been talking about TON for a while, actually.
A while, bro.
Yeah.
A while. So you're talking, we're looking at 400, 500% returns on TON. Next, the issue with TON right now, and I expressed this with the TON team, and they were like, hey, like, you know, the reality is these people have thought about the patching ahead of time, was the entire like point of failure on Pavel, right? And if your point of failure is
what do you
Pavel,
think
like,
about that, by the way? Do you have like a meta take on what happened?
So I have a take on it. So one is, I think he's too smart to create a single point of failure himself, right? That's my honest reality. Two is, if you're only web-based, like if you're web-based, you operate on a different set of rules that if you're like on the App Store. If you're on the App Store, there's certain things that you have to abide by. So they could take the Telegram app off of the App Store at any moment if they think that it's a threat. So Pavel has to comply in some way, shape, or form. However, I think the TON blockchain has a big use case for adoption. And number one, and then two, I think if they can really tap into what I think is their biggest strength, which is remittance, kind of like Tron had, which is the ability to send money to users through usernames on Telegram. I think that's one of the biggest use cases of remittance for Telegram. Imagine now, whatever, let's say your username is @threadguy. Let's say I can just go ahead and send you $1 million in USDT to your Telegram username. So that I think is one of the biggest use cases for basically free. So remittance is a big one. That's my big on my play on Telegram. I want to talk about maybe some of our meme coin plays, the ones that I'm currently invested in, the ones that I think are going to do really well, the ones that I think aren't going to perform. And then I also want to tap into what I think are going to be the meme coin narratives. But I want to talk about the other ones that I've talked about. NPC, I think that's going to be a really top meme. We see plenty of people shilling it. Pretty decentralized. I see Litecoin. Litecoin hasn't been mentioned as
that's a sneaky one. Litecoin from the rafters.
So let me tell you why. Are you ready?
Yeah, bring it. Let's go.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
I don't know that anybody's talked about. I think they get an ETF.
Whoa.
I think it gets an ETF.
Litecoin ETF before Solana or no?
I don't know before Solana, and the reason I'll tell you why is because it's a fork of Bitcoin. So therefore,
early too, right? Like 2013 shit.
Well, it's in the same asset class as Bitcoin, if you think about it, because it's just a fork of Bitcoin. So they didn't have a pre-sale, they didn't have all this like this baggage on top of them. Could be interesting. It's a shit coin, but once again, like it doesn't really make a difference at this point in the market. You have to kind of run the narratives. I have Mantle, it's pretty good. Doge, I've been in Doge. I think my big plays for meme coins is Doge, Brett, and Pepe. I think Brett gets to the thing that, I like that you talked about base chain.
You like base a lot, right? I know you're a base fan.
It's not just the fact that I like it. One is they're one of the best capitalized teams in the world.
For sure.
Two is we're entering Trump administration. Coinbase is they're about to be super OP, right? Like they're about to be super OP. And I think right now there's something taking place in Europe known as MICA, MICA, and it's the SEC of Europe, right? So why do you see Bybit? Why do you see Coinbase? Why do you see all the top exchanges, Binance in the world building DEXs? Because MICA, MICA, this new agency, is going to be the SEC of Europe. So unless you're MICA compliant, you're not going to be able to operate in Europe and offer services to European customers. That's why I think Hyperliquid has a real use case to take Binance's lunch, Coinbase's lunch, because all these people are going to have to start taking off users. This is MICA. This is applying January 1st. This guy,
really?
I talked to all the people from exchanges, bro. Like I'm telling you, this is coming January 1st. You're going to start seeing it, right? Futures getting taken off, margins being taken off. It's going to become really interesting. People are going to move to what? DEXs, DeFi. So you see all these big companies hedging with building a DEX because they know that their centralized exchange could be at risk. MICA applying January 1st. What was the alibi? What was the kind of the legal loophole that companies were using? Well, before MICA, you know how you have like the European Union? before MICA, every country had their own jurisdiction regarding crypto. So there wasn't kind of this encompassing EU kind of law. Now there's this encompassing EU law. So it doesn't matter which country in the European Union you're trying to like famous, kind of like make your way, get a bank account, all this stuff, you're still under MICA law. So I think Asia picks up really hardcore. I think Dubai picks up really hardcore. I think DEXs and decentralized finance pick up really hardcore. And I think that centralized exchanges are going to start building their own chains because they're realizing that they can't be operating in the centralized ecosystem. So Brett, I think, is the flagship poster boy of the ecosystem.
Unfortunately.
Until fortunately or unfortunately, the point is, I'm just riding the trend, right? Like, I'm not trying to be biased here. I'm trying to, like, we're all trying to make money. We're all trying to take the right trades. We're all risking trade. Like, we're buying meme coins, bro. Like, if anybody tells me shit all about, you're buying meme coins. I'm buying meme coins. I bought $800,000 with a fucking chill guy. Somebody could have nuked $1 million and the LP would have been gone and I would have been down to zero. So don't come to me with this whole degeneracy when we're all out here in the trenches doing the same thing. So Brett, my assumption is Base doesn't launch their own coin and Brett becomes the first to go to, at least this bull run. So my bet is on that one. Pepe, I think the narrative is Doge flipping. I think Doge is $100 billion. And obviously now it's in mindshare because of Elon. Go back and study all of Elon's tweets regarding Dogecoin. I think might be one of the biggest Dogecoin holders in the world. And I think because he's a super genius, I think he spotted the meme coin trend last bull run. Yeah. And I think he just positioned himself with Doge as a really safe meme to kind of push, but I think he has a fucking huge bag. Maybe that's just me, but if you go and look at his tweets, he's out here helping the devs, donating money. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they named the fucking government department after Doge as well.
It's a meme coin, bro. It's a meme coin. Then I have KCS, KuCoin. I have a couple exchange. I got Mog listed there. I got Bonk. I think Bonk is cheap.
Bonk is good. Bonk is sneaky. I like Bonk.
I think it's good. They generate revenue. They got a real product. I like Mog. You know, the entire kind of like LA ecosystem and everything's just pushing the views. So shout out. Hopefully you guys crush it there, and obviously Pengu, because they've really been able to figure out this entire narrative from top to bottom.